Hi everyone, it's Derek from the iReady podcast here, and this is my reaction to the 0-0 draw today at home in the Premiership against St Johnstone. I think you can file this game under we could have played for another 90 minutes and still not scored. Our inability to break down teams' defence, our inability to put keepers under pressure, and our inability to vary our style of play is what's become our undoing today. And it's not for the first time this season, and I'm sorry to say, for me, the league is gone because we cannot keep doing that. Yes, Celtic are going to drop more points, quite evident of that from the way they've played, but our inability to capitalise on that and then play like we did today is the reason why we are not winning this league. And it's going to be a very tough game on Wednesday as well against Kilmarnock to even save our chances of winning the cup. Really not good enough. We have done this time and time again this year, and it's silly points that we've dropped like this where we should be capitalising on things where we're playing at home. You know, St Johnstone are a fairly decent defensive unit, but we should have more than enough capability to break them down. We supposedly strengthened in the January window by bringing the creative midfield in with Davis, and yes, I know it's still early days, but it just hasn't worked. And really, I don't want to hear anybody saying about this, oh, we really lack things when Morelos isn't in the team, we lack our creativity. I'm sorry, but this is indicative of the way we've played, even when Morelos is in the team. We cannot blame the lack of Morelos for today's result, because this has happened time and time again with or without him. This is an attitude thing from the players, their inability to just absolutely go out and leave things on the park like they did against Celtic in the last Old Firm game. As I've said in previous pods, that is the benchmark, that is what we expect from players every single game, and they just do not do it week in, week out, and they need to do that. They need to put their bodies on the line. They will become legends if they win this league this year, but sadly they're not doing it because their inability to actually just go out and play against the lesser teams, if you want to say that, and not capitalise and get the results. In terms of the first half, it was a sluggish first half, certainly from us, but both teams were kind of, it was a bit of a midfield slog, and you know, we really never got going in the game. Not a great deal of chances for either team really, but we had a couple of nice moves which were fizzled out before any real danger. Again, we weren't putting the keeper under any pressure whatsoever. Our best chance was from a Goldson header, where I think it was a corner that came in. Goldson had a good header and it made the keeper make a save, which was one of the only times in the match, but it was largely right at him. There was a similar chance for St Johnstone as well in the first half, with a header actually coming off Tavernier. Now there was half claims for a handball, but his arms weren't, you know, flailing about. They were in by his side, and if it certainly did hit off his arm, it would be certainly, you know, it would be a dubious penalty if it were, but the referee never gave anything for it. There was as I said, there was a distinct lack of urgency in the team, and once again not putting their keeper under any pressure whatsoever. And you know, there was a couple of times where St Johnstone were quite dangerous on the break, and with the way we play, we try and push up and we leave the gaps, whereas the opposition team always seem to play within themselves and play backwards and swamp their defence with defenders, and that's up to us to break it down. We have more than enough quality to do that. We've proved that, you know, time and time again that we can do it, but we've also proved it time and time again that we fail to do it on a large number of occasions. So into the second half, we thought it was going to be a wee bit better, and it really never got going. Again, we were probably the better team out of it in terms of possession wise, but again, the two best chances came from St Johnstone. They had, it was late on in the game in the 73rd minute, it was a great save from Fotheringham after a free kick that was floated from the left hand side into the centre of our box. The attacker got his head to it, and Fotheringham had to make a great dive and save, and until that point it was the best chance of the game. But only, you know, a few minutes later, St Johnstone attacker lobbed Fotheringham from maybe about 20 yards. He had came off his line. There was a long ball knocked up into our defensive area, and fortunately it hit off the bar and bounced just off the line and into Fotheringham's arms. So could have been 2-0 down if it wasn't for, you know, Fotheringham and a bit of fortune, and we never offered anything really. Well, I think Lafferty had a couple of efforts, but it went wide of the post. Again, not putting the keeper under pressure. And you know, yeah, these teams are, you've got to realise that these teams are going to play defensively, but we've got more than enough quality to break them down, and you need to be more inventive than what we were doing. All we were doing really is getting the ball down the left wing, or sometimes the right wing, and try to float a ball in, which wasn't working. We were trying to float it up through the middle, wasn't working again. We needed to be more inventive, and that's what we sadly lack in the team, the inventiveness. These players have got the quality. We've seen it time and time again how they can play, but they just don't do it. And I've said it time and time again as well. See, when your delivery from Tavernier and Candeas is off, the team don't play. We don't have a creative outlet. And I know Davis is still getting up to speed, but we had other players there to do that. You know, Middleton came on in the second half. You know, I know it's maybe a lot to ask for a youngster to come on and try and influence a game, but that's what he's there for at the end of the day. The only one pass mark I could really, or there's two pass marks I could give in the team, was for Foderingham for his save, and that's the one thing that he done. He never really had a lot else to do in the game. But also I felt Kamara had a really good game. He was looking lively and was showing a lot of the players up. Defoe, can't really blame him, to be honest. He was largely left up there himself, and there was no outlet for him whatsoever. And you know, disappointing all round, and it's just got you really frustrated because we've dropped points once again. Our only hope is that, you know, Celtic can go out and drop points tomorrow, but as I said, we need to capitalise on when Celtic drop points. So this is why I think that you can forget the league for this year, because we're dropping too many points, and it's sad to say because the potential's there. Celtic are not a great team, as I keep saying. So as I said, we've got the game on Wednesday to, I wouldn't say look forward to now, and I believe there's a media blackout on that game, which because of the stupid UEFA rules in relation to the Champions League. So we'll need to listen to the radio, I think, if we can try and get a radio stream, or I'll be watching the game the next day. But fortunately, the only one thing you can say is it's Ibrox, but you know, it never really served us well today, did it? So Dave and I will hopefully be back next week for a pod. If not, it'll be the following week, and obviously I won't be back with a post-match reaction after the Kilmarnock game, since there's no streams of it. So we'll be back at some point, and thanks for listening, and goodbye.